Life is an amazing podcast, and it is presented and hosted by myself, Caro, and my sweet dog Sparky. Give it up for him. So Go For Your Life actually means to do something to your heart's content. It is a phrase used in Australia and the United Kingdom as an expression of encouragement. So this podcast is to encourage, to inspire, and to uplift. I hope you're ready. Enjoy. Welcome to episode 4. It is amazing. We're already on our 4th episode with Go For Your Life. And this is an episode, part of a series. So the series is about boss ladies and Shakti power. Basically, women who have the guts and the balls really to start their own businesses, to live the life that they want, to chase their dreams, and to not be afraid for that. And I've interviewed a few women already, and this is our 3rd woman in that series, and I really admire her. She is very much a power woman, I would say, and I'm super excited that she's here with me. So, without further ado, here is Shanna. And Shanna is a tattoo artist and an artist in general, and we also have in common that we have Dutch blood, which is really funny. Yeah. So let me just introduce you to Shanna. So Shanna, welcome.
Thank you.
You are. So I know who you are, but maybe you can talk a little bit about, who you are, what you do, where you're from, so people know.
I was born in Holland. That is it. I'm 36 years old, and I'm a tattoo artist, and I have my own private studio in Almada. And I also do a lot of traveling, so I also do guest spots in other countries, mainly in Germany now.
And how long have you been a tattoo artist?
For 7 years, almost 8 now.
Ooh. Yeah. And how is it for you to be a tattoo artist?
How is it for me in general? Mm-hmm. It's hard to explain. It's kind of, for me, it's not my job at all, because it's actually my passion, so it's an extension of my life. Mm-hmm. And I like art in general, so I see tattoo as a medium of drawing and painting, and it's actually doing and painting in someone's skin. So
And do you find that in like the world of tattoos and the world of tattoo artists, is it equal women and men, or is there
no,
more
it's
men?
mainly a men's world. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It started to increase the amount of women working on the area, but it's still a man's world. Yeah, that's for sure.
And how do you feel about that? About the fact that you're living and working in a man's world? Like,
Actually, it doesn't bother me that much. Of course, you always feel that there's always this idea that we can't be as good as men on doing the kind of quality work. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't affect me actually, because that's also the way I am. I don't get affected with that kind of level of being a man or woman or judgmental about that.
Mm-hmm. So it's just something like you see also you see the tattoo artist as the tattoo artist. You're not really looking at like, oh, there's a male tattoo artist or there's a female tattoo artist.
No, not really, because there's like really, really, really good female tattoo artists.
Yeah.
And of course there's more men that are, but that's because also they started first. That the generation of women tattooing is kind of recent. There's like a couple of them that are known from some years ago, but it's mainly now that they start to appear. But they're really, really good tattoo artists, so it doesn't make a difference if it's a man or a woman. It's just more men.
Yeah. But would you, as a female tattoo artist, like, would you like to see more women in doing tattoos though? Like, would you like it to increase?
For me, it's kind of, I would like to increase good quality tattoo artists. Yeah. And the only thing that I would like to see is that there's not too much discrepancy between men and women. So not seeing this as a world of men, but like equal parts.
Yeah.
That's so in that way, yeah, it has to have more women to do so.
And have you, in the 7 years or nearly 8 years that you are now tattooing, have you felt discriminated ever? Like, did you feel like people were looking at you differently just because you were a woman, or did you?
More clients. I think it's more the clients that look at women like. It's the relationship between tattoo artists, men looking at women. Normally, I never felt that discrepancy, but from clients, yes.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And so and like, do you like? Is it an awkward thing? Like, do you sometimes feel like, oh, they look at me differently now, or something, or like what?
No, it's more men clients tend to look at women as they were not achieved the same quality if it would be a man. Or also on asking some works, we have to be professional, and they always think that they can cross that boundary, and so kind of abusive way of behaving.
Okay.
Rude, but that, I think it's not only in tattoo, it's in general world. If it's a woman behind a counter, men tend to be a little bit more aggressive than if it's a man. They have more respect for a man than a woman, and that you can notice immediately.
And how do you, like, because you were saying before, like, oh, that doesn't really bother me. Like, when a client is like that with you, does it affect you, or like? Not
anymore.
So in the beginning, it was affecting you.
Yeah, because I'm kind of revolted with this kind of situations mostly. Yeah. And it would bother me, so I would go home and like get, oh, that fucking asshole. Sorry to say that, but now it doesn't bother me anymore. I kind of created like a way of dealing with them, and it's like I just immediately cut the conversation and it's done.
You shut it down at the core straight away.
Yeah. And you can understand when they start to be like that, so you never allow them to start to be rude. So you cut from the beginning.
So you just don't even give them space to even go there.
Fortunately, now I have my own studio, but when I worked in another studio before, I had men tattoo artists there, so it was really easy. As soon as I started to see that they would act like that, I would just call my friend and say, well, better is to talk with my other colleague, because probably it's better for your type of work, and then just pass it to a man.
Give him over. Give it over. And what is the big difference now for you from working for someone else to now have your own studio? Like, what? Like, do you prefer it, or is it harder?
It's harder because it's to pay bills. You have much more bills than before. Before it's just getting the money, pay the house and your food and everything, and now it's just materials and all this bureaucracy things. So it's harder in that way, because I have also to organize everything. It has the good side, that is peace of mind. Yeah. In the end is, I heard once someone said that to me, and got stuck in my mind. It's what I did. You have two ways of working in your life: or you work for other people's dreams, or you work for your own dreams. And that's what I did. So.
Yeah. And what do you think? Like, was there a moment in your life, especially when you were still working for other people's dreams? Was there a moment where you're like, oh, man, I really want to start my own thing?
Actually, it was not a good thing. I found that I was working in a studio, and I think things were not like didn't have a flow, and that immediately reflects to you in your work, mostly because it's an artwork, so you have to be motivated and creative, and if you're feeling down, that doesn't happen. And then I found out I had a tumor in the hypophysis, and the medication that I had to take for that, first it was a shock, and then the medication that I had to take, it makes me a lot tired and reduces the concentration and everything. So for me to be able to take care of my own life, I thought like the best way is actually to follow my own way.
Yeah. And did you also feel that, did you feel like was it also healthier for you when you were just on your own, like when you were having your own studio? Like, did you feel better?
Because even if you work in a good studio with a good boss, you always have conflicts with or the boss or colleagues and clients.
Yeah.
Because there's not all the clients are angels, you know. So in this point, I only have one. If I have problems, I have problems with clients, not colleagues. Of course, it's also not good to just work by yourself the entire time. So that's why I also do guest spots. But that's the good thing, because I see new people, new colleagues, I share information, but it's in a limited amount of time. So it's good for me to just open a little bit my mind and then go to my little hole again.
Yeah, and so when you started your own studio, was it straight away great, or did you have to work quite a while to get clients to you, or how was it for you?
Fortunately, I had some clients before, not that was consistent, but people knew more or less my work. So if one client would come, they would get happy, and then they will say to another client. So it's more like publicity by mouth. Yeah. And I had to be a little bit more over Instagram, because that's the way I think in our days to be able to just show your work. Yeah. And of course, in the beginning, I had to go a lot of times abroad, because I had to be sure that I could pay my bills. So going abroad I had to go. And now what's happening, it's increasing the amount of clients in my shop. And then I reduce the amount of times that I go away. Yeah,
so that's kind of now it's way more like you can leveled, stay here and like in balance in a way that you know. And so do you feel like, was there ever a moment to go back to, you know, being a woman in this industry? But did you ever feel unsafe with also a client, for example? Have you ever had a moment that because tattooing is quite an intimate, I think.
It's a lot, really, really intimate. Yes. Yeah. Fortunately, the amount of times that I had problems with clients, I had colleagues that could help with it, and I was also tough to handle it, like guys getting drunk inside the shop and being really abusive and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm not afraid of putting them out and call the police or something like that. Yeah. But that happens.
It does happen. Yeah. And to have, but you've never had, like, for example, when you're working for yourself now, you've never had a moment
Fortunately not, because also the way I publicize myself, it's kind of vegan friendly, vegan, being kind person, having animals around, and that immediately filters the amount of people, the type of people. So for example, someone that is kind of aggressive will never ever look for my work or try at least to go to my studio. And even if they do, because I book everything it's not an open shop, so it's booked everything online. I immediately can see by changing messages if the person is aggressive or not, and then I probably will suggest another type of tattoo artist that will be better to deal with, and mostly men, of course.
Yeah, and so because I've been to your beautiful shop, is there also a reason why you make it so homey? Is that for a reason?
Yeah, because one of the things that I noticed when I worked in other studios is sorry, when a client comes in, not for all of them, but most of the clients, it's really personal thing. Sometimes I had a time that I had a lot of people tattooing stuff because the mother died with breast cancer and things like that. So it's kind of vulnerability from the person, and if they are next to some other tattoo artists or other clients that are getting tattooed, they want to share their story, but they don't have the courage, or if they do, someone next to them can just put themselves into the conversation, or just, you know, and they don't feel comfortable. So the idea actually of the studio is having a private studio, so I can allow the person to just be there just with me, no one else, and they can share that and feel more comfortable. And you notice the difference. It's incredible how a person in a normal studio, open studio, they don't feel so much secure, and if they go there, if they're nervous in my studio, in like 5 minutes they feel really comfortable. Like almost like I'm their friend. And then they're there sharing their life, and of course I share mine as well, because it's a little bit opening the door of my house.
Yeah, of course, it's a very homey environment. That's for sure.
That was the intention.
That is